Now I'd like to introduce Ms. Samia Bishara Rizeq, the Director of the Child Safety Program and the Manager of the Queen Rania Family and Child Center, the Jordan River Foundation.
Thank you. I am really honored to be here today, invited by the CHI and ANARS to take part of this esteemed IC and to share with you the Jordan River Foundation and ANAR experience about child participation. And also allow me to express how pleased I was to take part and to attend the two previous sessions for our young people that showed how different we can be, coming from different families, from different schools, different communities, different countries, and different cultures. But at the same time, we all have a lot in common. We all share experiences. We all have the need to be listened to share issues, and to express our feelings and our thoughts. And we are here, Jordan River Foundation and ANAR, to support, keep having you in these ICs. Thank you very much for the two previous sessions. It was a resource of inspiration for us. Child participation and child helplines. The underlying and basic principle of a child helpline is participation. Children seek out helplines so that they have the chance to participate and ability to declare and express views on their current situation. As stated in CHI's general guidelines on accountability, participation is viewed as a core responsibility, guiding principle to be adopted by all helplines. This means that CHI is dedicated to facilitating chances for children to offer their perspective on helplines, functioning and assessment. JRF and ANAR are both strongly advocating for the inclusion of a child participation component in CHI's annual IC. Based on the success of JRF 2008 experience in directly involving children and adolescents in the IC as well as ANAR's current event, the two entities have joined forces in presenting the finding and conclusion regarding this component. This proposal aims to accelerate the process of creating the needed mechanisms that will systemize and methodize the participation, involvement and contribution of children and adolescents in decision-making process, particularly at the IC. JRF experience. The Queen Rania Family and Child Center of JRF hosted a National Children and Youth Forum over a period of 3 days. The main theme was on child participation and active engagement, specifically in the development and promotion of service for children and child helplines. Under the patronage of Her Majesty Queen Rania Al Abdullah, the Children and Youth Forum took place parallel to the CHI 2008 IC, which was hosted by JRF in Amman, Jordan. 100 children, different private and public schools in Amman participated in the forum compared to 170 professionals from more than 90 countries in CHI's IC. In conclusion of both forums, a joint session was held between the participants of the Children and Youth Forum and adults participation of the CHI Consultation. Allow me to share with you the stages of the forum. The first phase was, and the first stage was the preparation. review of relevant literature on child participation and adhering to a number of guiding principles and standards, material developed producing the necessary information which will prepare, engage, and assess students in their work to come interactive lectures for children were developed on child abuse and 110 families and children, the JRF helpline. Awareness raising among schools, 9 private and public schools, and learn about the services offered through the helpline as well as forum requirements. Phase 2 was the production of the children. Production of media tools, awareness-raising material. The participating students were then given the opportunity to produce various advertisement tools aiming to promote the concept of helpline from their own perception by using different media outlets. Participating students came with images, slogans, themes, and portrayed their thoughts and emotions regarding the helpline through the following production: 5 short films, 3 animated films, 19 photography, 2 radio ads, 53 creative writing, 77 creative drawing, and 18 posters, flyers, and brochures. The Children and Youth Forum included 100 students, age ranging between 14 to 16, representing their schools that had participated in the previous phase. In light of the CHI international consultation, the children and youth took part in both opening and closing sessions, as well as joint session on child participation. Children production from the first phase were also exhibited during the forum. These creations were displayed in hope that several helplines participating in the IC, representing numerous countries around the world, would adopt these tools developed by Children for Children to prevent child abuse. Themes and discussions during the forum. Upon the arrival of the participated children and youth, they were asked to register in a group under one of the 5 main topics set for discussion. These topics were the concept of the helpline in Jordan, the services offered by the helpline, the group targeted by the helpline, and the ability of the helpline to assess the early intervention, late prevention of child abuse. The significance of the child participation. Children recommendations were a total of 45 recommendations under the 5 themes. Following, we offer an example from each theme. Theme 1, establishing an advocacy committee of children to become ambassadors for outreach and advertisement purposes. The recommendation for theme 2 was offering alternative ways of entertainment by the specialists to callers who make prank calls. For theme 3, dedicating specialized programs for dealing with children affected by war, refugee children, in order to facilitate the delivery of focused activities and services. For theme 4, integrating the service within the educational curriculum. The last recommendation for theme 5 was increasing child participation in conferences on helpline services. The conclusion of both forums. On the 3rd day, a joint session was held between the children and adult participants of the IC, where the following was conducted. A brief of children and youth forum activities was presented to the IC participants, what we saw today in the 2 previous sessions. A panel of child participants representing the children and youth forum were introduced. The students also presented their various media tools. A number of advertisements and production created by the children were elected to be presented during the joint session. Students were also elected to represent the individual or group work and overs. A second panel of students was introduced to present the children recommendations for the forum. Expected challenges and practical implementation of child participation at the IC. The involvement of children can be challenging and over. The adherence to best practice standards and ethics is extremely essential. Following, we offer a series of points for CHI professionals to consider when planning for child participation at the IC. Decision-making process. Children should be provided the opportunity to voice their opinions and matters that impact their well-being. Their input must be heard, assessed, and utilized in all decisions pertaining to their welfare. Transparency. When guidelines offered to children in regards to their participation and transparent, then they are more aware of the extent to which their input, recommendations, and outcomes decision-making process. This does not mean that children replace adults in decision-making, but complement and supplement adult decision regarding helplines enhancement, shedding light on issues from children's perspective. Responsibility. Participation in OVERS should be designed and implemented in developmentally, cultural, and gender-appropriate manners. Children offer their recommendation at the IC to the best of their ability. Adults must play a leading role in creating the suitable environment which does not impose responsibility on children which does not match their cognitive, social, and intellectual capabilities. The role of adults. Adults must act as facilitator, guide children when necessary, offering support and serving as resource of knowledge. Adults must not tokenize children. They must engage children in fair and democratic selection processes for equal representation and not influence children during participation to serve purposes of their own organization. Adults must play a role in help preparing a child for participation. Facilitator must ensure that children understand helpline services. Adults must ensure the children component in running parallel to an adult counterpart, guaranteeing that the two groups meet, exchange ideas to assess impacts. Children and instruments. The level or extent to which a child can be entrusted with a certain task or responsibility must also go hand in hand with their development capabilities. Designing child participation based on initiatives which will be part of the IC should adhere to the development standards. Funding and logistics. Locating financial resources to support the additional costs presented by a child participation component at the IC will be challenging, yet with careful planning in advance locating and outsourcing of potential donors who support child participation, this can be overcome. Expected results of child participation at the IC. Children become part of the process of exchange information, offering their views in procedures and helpline functioning practice when given a chance to be heard, thus enhancing capacity of children to advocate on behalf of themselves as the other children. A child participation component at the IC can help teach other helplines on the inclusion of children with added benefits of children speaking for themselves in regard to experience, thus strengthening the capacity of organizations to lead, manage participation initiatives at the IC. Children can inform professionals and policymakers of their views and their experience at the IC. Since the IC acts as platform for practitioners and professionals to learn from one another, it means that it provides an added opportunity for children to voice their opinion at international level. Finally, a child participation component strengthens the role of CHI as lobbying and advocating entity, advancing the rights of children by hearing from children firsthand, and then relying their voices to governments and various UN bodies. Conclusion. The primary purpose of the IC is for helplines to exchange knowledge and expertise through sharing information on guidelines, best practices, standards, and strategies. This proposal, however, aims to include not only professionals at the IC, but also target groups of helplines as well, thus fostering the development of an essential component central to advancement and improvement of the global helplines, relying on direct input for their target group, the children. Thank you. And